Today has to be my favourite day down on the allotment. It's my chance to finally harvest my potatoes. We're going to give that a try today. I have brought with me my potato sack. I learned from last year that I don't just want a tub this year, I'm going for a large number of potatoes. So I have with me, not my carrier bag, but I've got my trusty scales so I can make sure I'm weighing them out correctly. And I've got a couple of proper sacks. So I'm going to dive in and see how many potatoes I can pull. I'm hoping for, I don't know, let's say 5 pounds maybe? Not sure. So this was a 6 by 7 foot bed, and it was full with, I can't remember how many seed potatoes I put in there, but I probably put, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I reckon there was about 6, and then probably 6 rows again, so anyone good at maths can tell me what that is. But yeah, I'm hoping for quite a lot, so that's today's job. We're going to dive in, dig up these potatoes and see what I get. Before I start pulling them up, let's lock in some options. So these are the options listed here. Choose which one you think it's going to be, and at the end I'll let you know how many potatoes or what weight of potatoes I was able to get from this bed. I stopped watering this bed probably about a week and a half ago, so I'm hoping that the ground will be nice and easy for harvesting, and as you can see quite a lot of them have died back, so I think they are good and ready. Some of those possibly have a bit longer to go, but I'm going to pull them all, see where we get to. Right, let's go. I'm about halfway through, so let's give this a quick weight test, see where we're up to. I'm hoping that we are getting close. So, so far we've got, oh well, nearly 6 pounds of potatoes in there. It's pretty good. I wasn't expecting that actually. I thought we'd be nearer about 5, but let's keep going. I think I'm there. Pretty much cleared out all of them. There's 2 more there, but I don't think there's very many on them. And there's a few tiny little ones that I haven't picked up, so I'll need to rake all through this, but I'm pleased with that. The only thing I'm not so pleased with is a couple of these have come out covered in, oh well, I'm not sure, they're like weird blotches, particularly these red ones. They've got attacked by something. I'm not sure if that's what potato blight looks like or that's just how they go. So those ones I'm keeping to one side because I don't want them to infect all the others, and there was actually quite a few of them. And then these little 2 here though, these are my favourite. They've shaped like little people, which I wasn't expecting, so those 2 can go in the sack as well. And then let's grab the weights and see what we got in the end. So we were at around 6 pounds halfway through, so I'm not sure if we've doubled that or if we're going to have similar weight. Let's bring this a bit forward. Oh, it feels heavy. Right, here we go. Oh wow, I reckon that's almost 19 pounds, somewhere between 18 and 19 pounds. So it's certainly not a sack full, but it is more than enough for me. That'll keep me going right through the winter and into the spring, I reckon. So I'm going to keep them in this sack, probably put them in the shed at home and slowly work my way through them. But that is a good result. 1 bed, 6 by 7, 18 pounds of potatoes. Just got to try and carry this home now. After the success of the potatoes, let's talk about something that's not been so successful. The corn has no cobs on it at all. I don't think we're going to get them now. It's a little bit too late. I mean, this one's got some tiny little silks coming, but the others are not even, they've not grown since the end of July. There's been no change, so a little bit disappointing there. We did manage to get some seeds on these ones, but I think it was all a little bit too late here. So next year, learn to grow these a bit earlier, get them in the ground a bit earlier, and maybe they need a sunnier spot. The small block that I planted over the other side of the plot actually seems to be doing slightly better, so might need a slightly sunnier spot for that next year. The sunflowers have done really well here, so maybe, as I say, this can all be sunflowers, and corn can go in one of the other beds nearer the front. Last week I was talking about my purple cauliflower being the only one that was grown in this bed, but I just checked a few moments ago and there is another one, a second one grown in there, and that first one was delicious. As I've said before, they have a lot more health benefits, the purple ones. They're full of a lot more vitamins and supposed to be very good for your eyesight, so I'm going to leave that one more week, I think. I just hope it's going to survive, and then I will pick that next week, because I'm not around next week, so if I take it, it will probably go mouldy in my fridge, and if I leave it here, I'm hoping it might do better, but I could find that by next week it's gone. But otherwise, well, actually this one is also beginning to curl up. I think that's just your standard white cauliflower, and I can't remember what the others were, but this has actually turned out to be quite successful, so I'm pleased. I've also been a little bit surprised by the tomatoes that I put in here. If you remember, it wasn't that long ago that I planted them in this bed. They were just left over in the polytunnel, and I thought, well, we've got an empty bed, let's stick some tomato plants in there here. And this one in particular now has about 9 tomatoes all growing on it, and they all have flowers on them, so I think we're going to get a crop from here, which is surprising. But before then, I want to stick some sticks in, give them some support, because otherwise they're growing a bit wild. I need to take a bit of care of them now if they're actually going to produce some fruit. So I know you're supposed to do something different with determinate, indeterminate, and get something to do with this 45-degree stem that's branching off. And in fact, because it's late in the year, I'm going to get rid of those, because I don't really want it to, I just want it to focus on what it's got. And I also think you're supposed to remove, well, that's got flowers on it, it'd be a shame to remove that. You're also supposed to remove the lower branches, or looking around the plot, that's what everyone else seems to have done. I'm going to get rid of these ones that aren't doing much, and then I will grab a bit of string, tie this up, and well, maybe I will get rid of that bit that's dragging on the floor otherwise, and that one's not doing much, so let's get rid of that as well. And then tie this up, and hopefully when I come back next week, these little tiny tomatoes will start to ripen. Talking of ripe tomatoes, in here, still got quite a few growing in the polytunnel, so a few more to pick there. Some nice big ones on there. Got a whole load coming on this tomato plant just here, and there's a few more peppers to pick, although most of the peppers got eaten, so that was a little bit disappointing. But some of the chilies have also gone red, turning from green to red. I don't know if you can see that just in there. Again, they've been slightly slug eaten though, which is disappointing. And the melons didn't do anything, unfortunately. I don't think they're going in now, it's a bit too late. I did see on one of them, somewhere in here, I did see what looked like the potential start of a melon. Well, you can see a little bit there. Looks like it could be a melon coming, but I just don't think it's going to do anything in time now. There was one that was a tiny bit bigger than that. I think of one of these back here. Oh, there's a cucumber there, just seen. I didn't see that. I'll try and grab that. Oh, and that reminds me, the hanging cucumber. That is doing quite well. It's turned a little bit yellow, but it has got its first cucumber on it. So it did work. I never got around to hanging it along here. I probably should have really, if I had put it along the top here. it would have done much better. But oh, and it has actually got a tiny little one just growing at the bottom there as well. Just got to drag it down. I might try and tuck that that one through the frame, and there's one on the other side. I don't know if you can see that just through there as well. But yeah, things are growing here, although it does feel like it's coming to the end of the season. Things are slowly dying away, particularly the peppers and the chilies. But the tomatoes are still growing strong, so that is good news. I'm also really tempted to pull my carrots. Should I go for one? They look a bit better. Well, the heads have come through, so I topped them up with some soil again the other day. I'm going to take this one because it's lying along the surface. Again, it's clearly a carrot this time. It's slightly better than the others, but they're still quite small, and I think these were supposed to be a much bigger variety. Let's maybe try this one. Someone said to push it down and then pull it up. Oh yeah, that would. Whoa! Look at that. Now that is what I was expecting. A real carrot. Fantastic. Oh well, that's a really good result. I honestly wasn't expecting that to come out of the ground like that. But that is a proper carrot. Wow. Very pleased with that. Much better than these little tiddly ones that keep coming out. So method does work, and it does produce carrots. I think soil just needs to be a little bit more sand in there, maybe a slightly better compost, and then I'm not sure why that one grew straight and all the others are growing cross, but anyway, that is a good result. Got yet another cucumber growing in here as well, which is good news. These two cucumber plants outside have done amazingly well. I think this variety grows much better anyway than the Telegraph variety, although they taste better. But this has produced, I mean, I'm getting about 3 cucumbers off this a week, so to be honest, I can't keep up with it. I don't know where they're all coming from, but they taste just as good as long as you take the skin off, slice them up, and they taste great. And actually you can make some good cucumber juice with these if you're into your smoothies or juices. These go really well in there because they've got very high water content. And the pumpkins and squashes, they are all, there's even more cucumbers down there, they are all doing quite well, although I haven't had as many. I only had that one squash off that plant, and I can't actually see, I mean this one is just coming to life now. It looks very healthy, so we might get a few off of that, but I can't see any others in here, and the others are all starting to die back, and there only seems to be the 2 pumpkins. We've got that one which is still quite small, and this one that got a little bit bigger, and it's just beginning to turn a little bit orange as well, so hopeful that by next week that will have some real colour to it, and in another couple of months that'll be ready to be. Oh, there is one more squash, look, just growing in there. Hopefully that'll be ready again in a couple of weeks' time. Well, at this time of year the focus is mainly on harvesting, and today has been a good day. I'm so pleased with that carrot, I can't tell you enough. Another cucumber, in fact there's more there that I will pick before I go home, and then 18, I think it's actually near 19 pounds of potatoes in there, and again there's probably another pound in the bed that needs digging up and smoothing it all out, raking it all over, ready for next year, ready to put another crop in there. Tomatoes are doing well over in the bed. I'm going to finish off tying those up today. But otherwise, that's it from me today. Thank you again for watching. If you want to see how the journey continues, then don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And as we begin to move into autumn, I'm going to start looking at what I can do with this wild bit here and then this bit behind me as well. I want to try and put some sort of elevated strawberry bed or some sort of strawberry cage or fruit cage in there, hopefully. Cut all that right back because this doesn't grow anything and it's a bit wild, and get all this as well. There's a tree in there that needs to come out, so all that's going to take place through the autumn. But thank you, and I will catch you all again very soon. Have a great week.